Hello everyone, and welcome back. We've all felt that anxious pull, that painful feeling of chasing someone or something, checking our phone, waiting for a reply. It feels powerless. Today, we're flipping the script. We are diving deep into the Stoic art of attraction, not by chasing, but by becoming. This is about the gravity of self-respect. We're going to explore the 5 Stoic laws of self-possession that stop you from ever chasing again. It's that sinking feeling in your stomach. You sent the text an hour ago, and the delivered status just stares back at you, cold and indifferent. You reread your message, analyzing every word. Was it too eager? Too desperate? This analysis is the first prison cell you build for yourself. This state of anxiety is what we call the chase. It is the most powerless position you can possibly be in. It's a state of pure reaction. You are effectively telling the universe and the other person that your peace of mind depends entirely on their validation. This is a quiet surrender. The act of chasing is not a sign of love. It is a sign of a profound internal void. You are seeking externally what you lack internally. It's the digital equivalent of standing outside someone's window, begging for a sign. This behavior doesn't inspire attraction. It inspires pity, and let's be clear. Pity is the absolute opposite of respect. You cannot build a foundation of respect on a bedrock of neediness. The ancient Stoics understood this dynamic perfectly. They saw it as a fundamental misunderstanding of nature and our place within it. They would argue that this pain comes from one single error, trying to control what is, by its very nature, completely uncontrollable. This brings us to the first, and most foundational, law of self-possession. You must master the dichotomy of control. This is the bedrock of all Stoic thought, taught by Epictetus. It divides the entire world into 2 simple, distinct categories. First, there are the things that are not in our control. This list is vast. It includes the weather, the past, and the economy. Most importantly, it includes the thoughts, feelings, perceptions, and actions of other people. You cannot control them. You cannot, through sheer force of will or desperate texting, make someone like you, respect you, or value you. It is impossible. The second category is what is in our control. This list is much shorter, but it is infinitely more powerful. It is our only domain. We control our thoughts, our judgments, our choices, our actions, and our responses. This is where all our true power resides. The person who chases is tragically focused on the second category. Their entire emotional state is chained to things they cannot control. They are trying to will a certain outcome from another person. This is like trying to command the sun to set. It is a form of madness. When you chase, you are abandoning your own power. You are handing the keys to your inner peace to someone else. The Stoic, in contrast, pulls their focus back entirely. They wage their war only on the territory they can actually win. They focus on their own character, their own responses, their own virtues. This is the only pursuit that matters. This first law is not passive. It is the ultimate realignment of your energy. It is a declaration of emotional independence. You stop asking, how can I make them like me? And you start asking, how can I respond to this situation with virtue and wisdom? This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. It's the difference between being a leaf in the wind and being the mountain. The chaser is the leaf, tossed around by every gust of validation or rejection. Their life is a chaotic, anxious mess. The mountain stands firm. The winds of opinion and the storms of rejection may blow, but its core remains unmoved. To master this law, you must practice it daily. When you feel that urge to chase, to check, to beg, you must pause. Ask yourself, is this in my control? If the answer is no, if it concerns another's feelings or response, you must let it go. This letting go is not giving up. It is a strategic, powerful refusal to waste your energy on a fight you can never win. This is the first step in the art of disappearance. You disappear from the games of validation because you are busy in your own domain. You are busy building your own mind, your own character. This focus is the beginning of your gravitational pull. You stop broadcasting neediness. Neediness is loud. It's frantic. It's chaotic. It's a high-frequency signal of desperation. Self-possession is quiet. It is calm. It is a low, powerful hum of self-sufficiency. It doesn't need to yell for attention. Think of the anxiety you feel when waiting for that reply. That is the feeling of your power being held hostage by something external. The Stoic reclaims that power. They find the validation not in a typing ... bubble, but in their own reasoned choice. I have acted with kindness. I have been clear. My part is done. This becomes the new internal monologue. The outcome, whether they reply, how they reply, if they ever speak to you again, is external. It is, to the Stoic, indifferent. This indifference is not coldness. It is simply a rational understanding of where your true good lies. It lies in your virtue, not their text. This first law is the key to unlocking the other four. You cannot build a strong self if its foundations are in someone else's yard. You must pour the concrete of your foundation on your own land, the land of your choices, your principles, and your character. This is where the chase ends. It doesn't end when you get the person. It ends when you realize you never needed to run. It ends when you realize that the prize you were chasing was a pale imitation of the power you already possessed within you. The power to choose. The power to act with virtue. The power to remain calm and unbroken, regardless of the external world. This is the end of Act 1 from the prompt, the painful chase. We have diagnosed the problem. It is a misapplication of focus. Now we move from diagnosing the problem to building the solution. We move from analysis of weakness to the construction of strength. The rest of our journey is about building that inner citadel, that fortress of self-respect that needs no external validation. Law 1 is the blueprint. It shows you where to build. Stop building on the unstable ground of other people's opinions. Start building on the bedrock of your own mind. This is the only ground that will never, ever shift beneath your feet. This is the primary act of rebellion against a culture of validation. You are taking your emotional sovereignty back. It will feel strange at first. Your mind is conditioned to seek that external hit of approval. Like a drug, you must retrain it. Every time you resist the urge to chase, you are strengthening a new neural pathway. This is the pathway of self-possession. It is the path of the Stoic. It is the path to true, unshakable power. The chaser hopes to be chosen. The Stoic chooses. They choose their own response, their own peace, their own virtue. This is the fundamental difference. One is a beggar, hoping for scraps from the table of another's affection. The other is a king, ruling the sovereign domain of their own mind. They are complete, whether alone or with others. This internal completeness is the most attractive quality a human being can possess. It is magnetic. People are not drawn to neediness. They are drawn to strength. They are drawn to a solid core. Law 1. Mastered the dichotomy of control. This is how you stop reacting and start being. This is how you build your core. You stop being the character in someone else's story and you become the author of your own. Your peace is no longer for sale. It is not negotiable. It is not dependent on a read receipt. This is the first law. Internalize it. Live it. It is the key that unlocks the prison of the chase. It is the moment you stop looking at the door, waiting for it to open, and realize you are the one holding the key all along. You turn away from the door and begin to explore the vast, powerful kingdom of your own mind. This is where your energy must go. Not into pursuit, but into development. Not into begging, but into becoming. The world is full of people chasing. Be the one who stands still. Be the one who builds. This stillness, this focus, this internal work. It has a sound. It's the sound of silence, and that silence is far more powerful than the loudest plea. It is the sound of true strength. This is the art of disappearance. You disappear from the frantic world of chasing. You become absorbed in your own life, your own purpose, your own principles. You are no longer available for the low-frequency games of validation and pursuit. This is not a trick. It is not a strategy to get someone. It is a fundamental shift in your operating system. It is a shift from I need you to I am. That is the ultimate source of power. This is the end of the chase. This is the beginning of your gravity. Having laid the foundation with the dichotomy of control, we now build upon it. The second law is redefine your source of value. The chaser's value system is external. Their worth is a fluctuating stock price, dictated by the market of others' opinions. A kind word, and their stock soars. A seen notification with no reply, and their market crashes. It is a life of volatility. The Stoic's value is internal. It is a gold reserve held in a vault. It is not traded. Its value is fixed, determined only by their character. This second law demands that you stop seeking validation and start generating your own. You become your own source. Your worth is not in your appeal to others. It is in your honesty. It is in your discipline. It is in your resilience. The chaser believes, if they like me, I am worthy. The Stoic believes, I am worthy, therefore I act with virtue. This is a profound reversal. You stop performing for an audience, and you start living according to a code. The art of disappearance is an art of subtraction. You subtract the need for applause. Your actions become pure. You do the right thing because it is the right thing, not because it might impress someone. This is incredibly rare. In a world of performers, the person with a genuine, internal code of conduct is a magnetic force. They are not trying to be liked. They are trying to be good in the classical sense. Virtuous, honorable. This shift in your value source is what allows you to let go. When you don't need their validation, you can interact with freedom. You can speak your truth without fear, because the outcome doesn't define you. You can walk away from disrespect, not as a tactic, but as a standard. This brings us to the third law, which flows directly from the second. Cultivate purposeful indifference. This is often misunderstood. This is not about being a cold, unfeeling robot. It is not about apathy. It is about what the Stoics called apatheia, state of tranquility, one by focusing only on what matters. Your own virtue. It is an indifference to the externals you cannot control. You are not indifferent to kindness or justice. You are indifferent to praise and blame. You are indifferent to being chosen or rejected because your value is already set. This purposeful indifference means you have a why that is bigger than any single person. You have a mission, your purpose, your work, your art, your studies. Your character becomes your primary focus. This is your true north. The chaser's true north is the person they are chasing. They will change their entire direction based on that person's whims. The person of self-possession has their own map. They are on their own journey. This is the disappearance. You disappear into your work. You disappear into your gym routine. You disappear into your reading. You are not playing hard to get. You are hard to get because you are busy. You are engaged in your own life. This is the ultimate paradox of attraction. The less you need someone, the more attractive you become. A person with a deep, abiding purpose is a complete universe unto themselves. They are not a needy satellite. They are a star, generating their own heat and light. People are naturally drawn to warmth and light. They don't have time for the low-level drama of why didn't they text back. Their mind is on higher things. Their mind is on their craft, their community, their principles. This focus is a signal of immense inner strength. It signals that you are not a void waiting to be filled, but a fountain overflowing. The chaser operates from a place of scarcity. I need you to complete me. This is a terrifying pressure to put on another person. The Stoic operates from a place of abundance. I am whole, but I would be happy to share my time with you if our values align. See the difference? One is begging, one is offering. One is a parasite, the other is a host. To cultivate this, you must find your purpose. You must find something to care about more than being liked. This could be a career goal, a physical challenge, a skill you want to master, an injustice you want to fight. This purpose becomes your anchor. When the waves of emotion or rejection crash against you, this anchor holds you fast. You are no longer thrown about by the opinions of others. You have weight. You have substance. This is the true disappearance. You are no longer emotionally available for games of pursuit and rejection. You have better things to do. And this is not an act. You genuinely have better things to do. Your time becomes your most valuable asset, and you refuse to spend it on anxious waiting or desperate pleading. You become a gatekeeper of your own energy. You stop giving it away to those who do not value it. This indifference is simply a rational allocation of your most precious resources, your time, your focus, and your emotional energy. You invest them where they will bring a return, in your own character, your own skills, and your own peace. This is far from cold. It is the ultimate act of self. It is the act of tending to your own garden. You stop staring at your neighbor's garden, their life, their choices, and you focus on watering your own plants. And what happens? Your garden, it becomes beautiful, vibrant, and healthy. Naturally, people will want to come and see your garden. They are drawn to the life you have cultivated. But by then, your focus is on the garden itself, not on the visitors. You find joy in the act of cultivation. This is Law 3. It is the shift from other-focused to purpose-focused. It is the moment you stop being a spectator in the game of love and become a creator in the game of life. This makes you deeply, profoundly, and effortlessly attractive. Your energy is no longer leaking out in neediness. It is contained, focused, and powerful. It is the calm, quiet energy of a deep river, not the frantic splash of a shallow puddle. The chaser is a puddle, reflecting whatever is above it, drying up without constant rain validation. The person of purpose is a river, with an internal source, carving its own path through the landscape. You must decide which one you want to be. The choice is yours, and it is made every day. It is made in the moment you choose to put your phone down and pick up a book. It is made in the moment you choose to go to the gym instead of waiting by the phone. It is made in the moment you choose to pursue your goals, whether anyone is watching or not. This is the cultivation of purposeful indifference. It is the engine of your new self. It is the fire that generates the light and heat that others will eventually be drawn to. So, Law 2, your value is internal. It is your character. It is non-negotiable. And Law 3, your focus is your purpose. It is the anchor that holds you steady. These two laws, built on the foundation of Law 1, are where your gravity begins to form. You are no longer a lightweight object, easily pulled into the orbit of others. You are becoming a center. You are starting to develop your own mass. You are no longer defined by your relationships, but by your mission. This is the essence of self-possession. You possess yourself. You are not for rent. You are not for sale. You are not available to the highest bidder of validation. You are sovereign. This sovereignty is the very thing the world is starved for. It is the antidote to the frantic, needy energy that defines so much of modern interaction. Be the antidote. Be the calm in the storm. Be the one who knows their worth and knows their path. The chase is over. The journey into your own purpose has just begun. This is the true art, not the art of getting someone, but the art of becoming someone who is whole, complete, and powerful on their own. This is the person who never has to chase, because they are already where they need to be. They are at home, within themselves, and that home is a fortress. We have established our foundation. We control our choices, Law 1. We define our own value, Law 2. And we are guided by our purpose, Law 3. Now we arrive at the fourth law, which dictates how we interact with the world. Let your actions reveal your worth. The chaser operates on a different, weaker principle. Let my words plead for my worth. This is the way of begging. This is the person who sends the long, multi-paragraph text explaining why they are a good partner. This is the person who argues, debates, and tries to convince another person to value them. They are holding an audition for a role that the other person may not even be casting for. It is an act of profound weakness. The Stoic knows that value is not argued. It is demonstrated. Your worth is not a thesis to be defended. It is a fact to be observed. This law requires that you stop explaining, stop justifying, stop begging, stop pleading. Instead, you must embody. You don't tell people you are confident. You are confident. You don't tell people you have boundaries. You calmly enforce them. You don't tell people you are busy and have a purpose. You are unavailable because you are doing your purpose. Words become cheap. In the world of the chaser, words are an endless, inflated currency, spent trying to buy what is not for sale. In the world of the self-possessed, actions are gold. They are rare. They are heavy, and they are real. This is the show. Don't tell principle applied to your very being. If someone disrespects you, the chaser argues. They explain why their feelings are hurt. They plead for better treatment. They may state their boundary once, clearly and calmly. I don't appreciate being spoken to that way. If the behavior continues, there is no more discussion. The action is removal. You remove your attention. You remove your presence. This action is silent, but it is deafeningly loud. It says more than 1,000 pleading texts ever could. It says, "My self-respect is more important to me than your presence." This is the ultimate statement of power. People are not convinced by your arguments. They are convinced by your standards. And a standard is only real if it is enforced. A boundary is not a request. It is offensive. If someone climbs it, there is a consequence. The chaser's fences are imaginary. They yell, "Don't climb my fence," but do nothing when it happens. Their words are meaningless. The Stoic's fence is electrified. Touch you don't say, and the consequence is immediate and silent. Your presence is removed. This is not done out of anger or revenge. It is done from a place of simple, logical self-preservation. It is the same reason you would not leave your hand on a hot stove. It is irrational to remain in a situation that burns you. The chaser, however, will keep their hand on the stove, all while explaining to the stove why it should be cold. Law demands that you trust your actions to do the talking. This is the art of disappearance in practice. When you are disrespected, you disappear. You don't throw a fit. You don't make a scene. You simply ... are no longer there. Your energy, your focus, your time, they have been reapplied to your purpose. Law 3. This creates a vacuum. The other person, who is used to people begging for their attention, is now met with silence. They are met with an absence. This absence is a mirror, forcing them to reflect on their own behavior. Whether they change or not is irrelevant. Law 1. You have already won, because you have preserved your own peace and self-respect. This is how you build true power. You demonstrate, through action, that your world does not revolve around them. You demonstrate that you are the one at the center of your own universe, and access to you is a privilege. This is not arrogance. It is simple self-worth. It is the recognition that you are a sovereign entity, not a subject. Think about the most powerful, respected people you know. Do they argue for respect? Do they plead to be valued? No. They simply are. Their presence has weight. They move with purpose, and their actions have finality. They embody their standards. You learn, very quickly, how to treat them by observing what they tolerate. And they tolerate very little that is beneath their standard. They are not nice. They are virtuous. Nice is a mask of compliance. Virtuous is a core of steel. Nice avoids conflict. Virtuous handles it with brief, decisive action. You must stop being nice. Nice is what makes you send a "just checking in" text. Nice is what makes you accept bad behavior. Instead, Be good. Be strong. Be virtuous. Let your actions and your inactions define your boundaries. Your silence in the face of disrespect is an action. Your absence is an action. Your continued focus on your own life, despite their attempts to draw you into drama, is a powerful action. You are communicating your worth not with your keyboard, but with your calendar. Your calendar is full. It is full of your work, your growth, your life. There is no block for chasing and begging. This is what makes you magnetic. You are not a problem to be solved or a project to be fixed. You are a force to be reckoned with. A person whose life is moving, with or without anyone else. This is incredibly attractive. People want to be around those who are going somewhere. The chaser is standing still, waiting for someone else to give him a direction. The person of self-possession is already in motion, on their own path. So, when you feel the urge to explain, to justify, to argue for your value, stop. Close your mouth. Put down your phone. Take a deep breath. Reconnect with Law 1. Their perception is not in my control. Reconnect with Law 3. My purpose is my priority. Then, take an action that aligns with your values. Go for a run. Work on your project. Read a book. Let that action be your response. Let your life be your argument. This is the most compelling argument you can possibly make. It is undeniable. It is the physical manifestation of your self-worth. This is low for stop talking. Start being. Let your actions prove what your words never could. Your worth is self-evident, but only if you live it. Don't audition. Just be the star. The right audience will find you, and they will be drawn not by your pleas, but by the light you radiate. This light comes from the friction of your discipline, your purpose, and your action. It's the light of a self-forged soul, and it is impossible to ignore. We have built our fortress. Law 1 is the foundation control. Laws 2 and 3 are the wall's internal value and purpose. Lofa is the gatekeeper action. Now, we explore the final law, which is the result of all the others. Law 5. Build the gravity of self. This is the central metaphor from the video's concept. This is what happens when you truly live the first 4 laws. A chaser is a low-mass object, like a tiny asteroid. They have no gravity of their own. They are pulled desperately into the orbit of anyone or anything that has more mass, more confidence, more purpose, Their entire existence is reactive, defined by the gravitational pull of others. They're constantly in pursuit, trying to latch on. The goal of these laws is to stop being the asteroid and to start becoming the planet. You build mass. This mass is not physical. It is your character. It is your discipline. It is your purpose. It is your unbreakable core of self-respect. Every time you choose to focus on your control Law 1, you add mass. Every time you validate yourself Law 2, you add mass. Every time you work on your purpose, Law 3, you add mass. Every time you act on your standards instead of pleading Law 4, you add mass. You are, bit by bit, becoming a celestial body. You are forging a center of gravity. And what happens to objects with immense gravity? They don't chase. They draw. They do not pursue. They attract. This is the profound shift. Opportunities, respect, and, yes, high-quality relationships are naturally drawn into your orbit. They are not pulled in by your neediness, but by your very substance. People feel this. They can't always name it, but they feel it. They feel your stillness. They feel your self-sufficiency. They feel that your world is not spinning around them. They sense that you are the center of your own world. This is the most magnetic force on earth. It is the quiet confidence of a person who does not need you, but chooses you. The chaser needs. The self-possessed chooses. The power dynamic is completely inverted. This gravity is not a trick. It is the real, tangible result of deep inner work. It's why the art of disappearance is so powerful. When you disappear into your purpose, you're not hiding. You are building. You're in the forge, hammering away at yourself, adding to your mass. When you re-emerge, you are not the same. You are heavier. You are more solid. You have presence. Your silence has weight. Your attention has value, because it is not given away freely to just anyone. This is why the most powerful people are never chasing. They are too busy with their mission, their empire, their craft. They are the sun. The sun does not chase the planets, begging them to stay in orbit. The sun simply burns. It is so massive, so powerful, so consumed by its own purpose fusion that its gravity holds the system together. Your task is to stop being a chaser and to become a sun. Your purpose is your fusion. Your principles are your core. Your self-respect is your heat. Your actions are your light. This is the final law. It is not something you do, but something you become. It is the culmination of all your choices, all your discipline, all your boundary setting. You become a person of substance. You build a self so strong, as the prompt noted, that even if they leave, you remain unbroken. This is the goal, not to get the person, not to win the argument. The goal is to become so whole, so rooted in your own being, that no external event can topple you. This is true power. This is true freedom. It is the end of anxiety. It is the end of looking at your phone, waiting. You are no longer waiting. You are living. You are building. You are becoming. And the paradox is that when you finally reach this state, when you genuinely do not need anyone else, that is, when you are most desired, that is when true, healthy connection becomes possible. Not a connection of two half people trying to form a whole, but a connection of two whole people, two suns, choosing to share their light and warmth. This is the transformation. It is the journey from chaser to center. It is the 5 Stoic Laws of Self-Possession. Master your control. Define your value. Find your purpose. Act your worth. And in doing so, you will build a gravity that is undeniable. You will stop chasing, and you will start attracting. You will become the one who is still, the one who is strong, the one who has built an inner world so rich that the outer world cannot help but be drawn to it. This is the art. This is the power. This is the end of the chase. This is the beginning of your true, self-possessed life. Start building your mass today. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. This isn't just a strategy. It's a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your place in the world. It's the move from being a passenger to being the pilot of your own life. The core idea is to stop pouring your energy into things you can't control like other people and to invest that energy back into the only thing you can. Yourself, your character, your purpose, your strength. That's how you build that gravity we talked about. Which of these 5 Stoic laws resonated with you the most? Is it mastering your control? Or maybe the idea of letting your actions be your only argument? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read as many as I can. If this resonated with you, I appreciate you sharing it. I'll see you in the next video as we continue to explore these powerful ideas. Take care.